Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today we're talking about something that is already making huge decisions about your life: artificial intelligence. From deciding if you get a loan to recommending a medical treatment, AI is everywhere. But here's the billion-dollar question: how does it actually make those decisions? In many cases, we simply don't know. It's a black box. This has sparked a fascinating debate. Should we regulate these powerful, mysterious algorithms in the same way we regulate pharmaceutical drugs? Let's dive in. First, we need to understand this enigma of the black box. Why can't we just look inside? Think about how you learned to recognize a cat. You saw thousands of pictures and examples. Eventually, your brain just knew. You can't write down the exact logical steps your brain takes to identify a cat in a split second. Modern AI, especially systems based on deep learning, works in a similar way. It sifts through massive amounts of data, finds patterns, and learns. In the process, it becomes so complex that even its creators can't trace the exact path it took to reach a specific conclusion. This isn't just a quirky feature. It has dangerous real-world consequences. Take bias, for example. AI learns from the world we've created, and our world has biases. When a major tech company built an AI recruiting tool, they had to scrap it. Why? It learned from a decade of resumes that were mostly from men, so it started automatically penalizing any resume that included the word women's. In healthcare, an algorithm used across U.S. hospitals was found to be biased against black patients because it used healthcare spending as a proxy for need, failing to account for systemic inequalities in access to care. Then there's accountability. If a self-driving car makes a fatal error, or a medical AI misreads a scan, how do you fix the problem or assign responsibility when you can't see the faulty logic? And sometimes, the failures are just plain weird. An AI-powered camera designed to follow a soccer ball during a game got confused and repeatedly focused on the linesman's bald head instead. These examples, from the serious to the silly, all point to one urgent need: a system of oversight. So, what could that look like? This brings us to our big analogy: pharmaceutical drugs. The system for regulating drugs, especially in the United States through the FDA, is a masterclass in caution. It was born from public health disasters and is designed to ensure that the benefits of a new medicine clearly outweigh its risks. Think of it as a four-act play. Act 1 is pre-clinical research. Before a drug ever touches a human, it goes through extensive lab and animal testing to check for basic toxicity. If it looks promising, it moves on. Act 2 is the famous clinical trials, which are broken into phases. Phase 1 uses a small group of healthy volunteers, just to figure out a safe dosage. Phase 2 expands to a larger group of actual patients to see if the drug works and to continue monitoring safety. Phase 3 is the massive, expensive final trial, involving thousands of people to confirm the drug's effectiveness and compare it against existing treatments. This is the main data the FDA will use. Act 3 is the FDA review. After the trials, a team of doctors, statisticians, and chemists pore over every piece of data. They independently decide if the drug's benefits outweigh its risks. If they say yes, the drug is approved. But it doesn't end there. Act 4 is post-market surveillance. The FDA continues to monitor the drug for any rare side effects or long-term problems that didn't show up in trials. This whole process is long, it's rigorous, and it's expensive, but it's built to create public trust. So, could we create an FDA for AI? At first glance, the parallel is compelling. We could imagine a world where high-risk AI systems have to pass clinical trials for bias and safety before being released. The model offers a fantastic risk-based approach. Just like a simple painkiller isn't scrutinized as heavily as a powerful chemotherapy drug, we could apply stricter rules to AI used in critical infrastructure or judicial proceedings, and have a lighter touch for things like your Netflix recommendations. The concept of pre-market approval is also powerful. It shifts the burden of proof from the public, who currently suffer from AI failures, to the developers, forcing them to prove their system is safe first. And a system for post-market surveillance, like an AI incident database, could track failures in the real world, helping us understand how these systems behave over time. This would all go a long way toward building public trust in a technology that currently has very little. However, when you look closer, the analogy starts to break down in some fundamental ways. The biggest problem is the difference between a stable molecule and malleable software. A drug's chemical formula is fixed. An AI system is not. It can be updated continuously, and some are even designed to learn and change as they encounter new data. Would every software update require a full, multi-year reapproval process? That would bring innovation to a grinding halt. Another huge issue is the environment. A drug is tested on the human body, which is a complex but relatively consistent system. An AI's environment is the entire digital and social world. An AI that performs perfectly in a lab in California could fail spectacularly when deployed in a different cultural or demographic context, because the data and user interactions are completely different. This makes designing a universal trial for AI incredibly difficult. And what about the black box itself? A field called explainable AI is trying to crack it open. These tools can give us approximations of why an AI made a decision, like highlighting which part of a medical scan the AI focused on. But these are just approximations, not the definitive truth. We might be moving from a black box to a glass box. We can see inside, but the workings are still too complex to fully comprehend. Finally, there's the clash between intellectual property and public safety. In AI, a company's secret sauce is its model and the proprietary data used to train it. Forcing companies to hand over their source code for regulatory review would be like asking Coca-Cola to publish its secret formula. So, what's the path forward? It's clear that a simple copy and paste of the FDA for AI won't work. The analogy is a powerful starting point, but the solution needs to be custom-built for the digital age. The future is likely a hybrid system. It will probably be a tiered, risk-based system, like the one the European Union is building, focusing the harshest scrutiny on the highest risk AI. Instead of just validating the final output, regulation will focus on the process. It will require companies to follow best practices for managing risk, ensuring data quality, and allowing for human oversight. Independent audits will become critical, checking systems against standardized benchmarks for fairness and accuracy, without necessarily needing the source code. The algorithmic black box is one of the greatest governance challenges of our time. We can't legislate it out of existence, and we can't wait for perfect transparency that may never come. The goal is to build a framework of accountability around the black box, a system that ensures the people building these tools are held responsible for the outcomes they produce. The prescription for trustworthy AI won't be a simple pill, but it's one we must write together and get right. Thanks for listening to Fun Facts Online.